If everybody there were to pick up a season ticket, well, forget it.
Well,
there wouldn't be enough.
Season tickets are on sale in 2004, so let's build on this momentum and keep it going.
And don't you kind of hope these live pictures, this live feed's being sent back to New York? You know, somewhere in New York City, someone's watching this one. You gotta hope.
Or you know what? Probably a lot of transplanted New Yorkers are probably watching it at home, or maybe they're even here saying, hey, guess where I am? We're at the parade for the Marlins. What are you doing today?
Probably staying away from a television set.
Having the fish special at the diner for lunch.
So again, this is going to work its way. Now that, I'm going to guess, is the joint honor guard to get things started, followed by the duck tour with the Marlins, Mermaids, the Youth Baseball League, and a long list. We'll see the Miami High Senior Marching Band, and then we'll start to see the lawmakers.
Miami High Senior Marching Band, Stingeries, making their way down. They'll be down the street soon, and as you mentioned, this is just one of 3 parades, because, you know, we can't get enough here. If you're going to be, you know, sick for work, you may as well
absolutely
have a full day of events.
Wish we could have a show of hands. Raise your hand out here if you called in sick today.
Could you imagine?
It looks like the whole town's out here. Let's jump in with Tom Haynes. I think he's got the D train with him. Tom?
Craig, you're exactly right. I'm standing here with none other than Dontrelle Willis. You came so far this season. What does this mean to you to be out here with everybody, all of your fans, surrounded by hundreds of them to congratulate you?
It's awesome to see everybody come out and support us, and this is a great town. You know, they deserve, you know, someone a winner and what have you. So I'm just excited to get going right now.
You know, you guys always talked about how this thing hasn't sank in yet. You're such a young guy in your early 20s. Has it sunk in?
Not yet, but hopefully it will right now.
Can you say something to Miami as you head down Flagler?
We love you, Miami. Thank you.
There you have it, Craig and Belkey's Dontrelle Willis, one of the most important players in this series as he heads down Flagler Street. I want to turn around and show you exactly where they're headed. As you see the D-Train sign, we saw that so many times during the games, during the World Series here in Miami. So many supporters of Dontrelle and the rest of the Marlins here to show their support. And this thing has taken off for the victory drive. You heard it from Dontrelle himself. He is so happy to be here today. It has finally sunk in that they won the World Series, and I don't think that would have happened until today, until they saw all of these screaming fans.
I got to tell you, I mean, obviously, Craig and I didn't play in the games, but, you know, we've been so involved in reporting and everything else that I actually can feel for them as to how this hasn't really sunk in yet, because it, you know, it was so champagne celebration in the locker room, media, jump on the plane, party, and it's kind of like I can get it. Oh, there
now maybe when you're holding that up, it sinks in. When you're holding up the World Series trophy, that must be a good time to think, hey, this is for real.
I guess at the beginning you're just so in the thick of it that you can't, you know, you can't stop to smell the roses, if you will, or smell the baseballs. Procession making its way down the street there.
It's going to be a while before we get any kind of official estimate from the city of Miami as to how many are out here, but look at the pictures. You can guess for yourself. I think we're accurate in saying tens of thousands are lining the streets, and again, this is just the start of one of 3 parades here.
And they've been out here a while, because we got here a little before 10, and already over here on Biscayne Boulevard where we got dropped off, it was packed with people. Got their towels, got their World Series shirts on, all the gear.
Now, fairly soon, I think we're going to start to see some of the elected officials. You know, the funny thing about a winning team, it brings out the elected officials to lend their support as well. And from the governor on down, they're all here today to take part in this this extravaganza.
Got some officials. Obviously, the governor is here, but we've got officials here from Miami, Miami-Dade County, and Fort Lauderdale as well. Look at that. Some of them taping the...
getting pictures of us, getting pictures of them.
Taping themselves.
There's the ticker tape we've been hearing so much about that we're going to be seeing much of.
They've been shredding this stuff for days. I think we have like 2 tons of ticker tape that is ready.
There he is.
The man.
What a guy. Can I tell my story now about this guy while we're looking at him?
Skipper Jack McKeon, tell us your story that happened in New York, right?
The day of Game 6. Now imagine the pressure on this guy. I run into somebody on 5th Avenue who says, hey, who do you think's going to take it tonight? And I said, well, of course, the Marlins. And he says, you'll never believe this. I run into Jack McKeon on the street this morning.
course, there's Josh Beckett.
The man of the hour.
Did it in Game 6, MVP of the series.
Man of the hour.
But go ahead, back to what you were saying about Jack McKeon.
This guy goes up to Jack McKeon and says, I love you, you're the greatest. If I'd get my dad on the phone back in Kendall, would you talk to him? And Jack says, sure, why not? Dials his father on the phone, and Jack McKeon spent a few minutes on a street corner in New York talking to this total stranger's father like it was nothing. I mean, it just speaks volumes about this guy.
And this was before Game 6, right?
The day of the morning of, yeah.
Like Jack McKeon didn't have enough on his mind, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Little.
Juan Pierre there, I believe.
Is that Juan Pierre?
Yeah.
There you go. Lots of convertibles, lots of the players themselves shooting everything that's going on. What a terrific day. There's another live look from 7 Skyforce overhead. Looks like we've got the motorcycle cops out there. There's Pudge and his family. MVP of the National League Championship Series. And as I like to say, the guys with the best knees in Florida.
Of course, Pudge, who was great. Steve Shapiro had him on the other night. His entire family there with him at Yankee Stadium. We want Pudge. We want Pudge.
Remember that?
I think the crowd agrees.
Because Steve was telling me last night that Pudge's contract is up. So hopefully we'll be able to keep him. He kissed the home plate at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, I didn't see that, did he?
That night at the end of Game 6, yeah. Literally kissed the ground, the hallowed ground at Yankee Stadium that we went in and trampled.
Don't think they'll want to invite us back too soon, huh?
Any Yankee fans that are out there watching, forgive me. You know, sorry if you take offense to our comments, but come on, don't be sore losers.
Alex Gonzalez being told there. Looks like he brought the family along today.
Lots of them done. Look like Pudge was with his wife and his kids.
Being told now the governor is actually not here. He had a conflicting, he had somewhere else he had to be. I'm sure he's sorry about that.
That's what happens when you're a governor. You get booked early. I mean, this, you know, we just found out about this, late last week?
Saturday
that it was going to happen Tuesday? I'm sure he's probably sent a representative, and without a doubt, his good wishes for this terrific team. That's.
I'm sure wherever he is, he'd much rather be a part of this.
Oh, yeah, I'm guessing. I'm guessing. Some kind of budget meeting or something? Yeah, he'd rather be here. No doubt about that, he'd rather be here.
As the ticker tape showers down on Flagler Street.
What a great day. We've got great weather so far. There was a little talk of that isolated shower that Bill Kamal told us about, but so far so good. It's absolutely terrific. A little bit breezy. Oh, there's a man, Mr.
Jeff
Marlin.
Conine.
Mr. Marlin, as Steve Shapiro likes to call him, Niner. Niner.
And what a great break for him to end up back with the Marlins, you know, mid-season. And
it's his second World Series ring with the Marlins, but he said that this one means so much more to him because this wasn't expected, and this is such a team that's so close to his heart that it means a lot more. And here we've got the Marlins Mermaids. Because, yes, just because it's baseball doesn't mean there's no cheerleaders.
I can hear.
And if you're in the sea, you got to have a mermaid or two.
Yeah, right? Those are the Marlins Mermaids. And is that Billy? Billy the Marlin. He's the man. Billy the Marlin. God bless Billy. He puts, you know, he's in that get-up day in and day out in this heat. Billy, you are the man. I hope they give you a World Series ring, too.
So again, they're working their way east on Flagler. They'll get to Biscayne. They're going to hook a. There's the trophy again. You just can't get enough of a look at that. I mean,
is that Jeff Lurie? I can't see.
Hard to tell. Yeah. He's the owner. I hope it's him holding it. I mean,
yeah, right?
He signs the check, so he gets to hold it.
He's the guy signing the checks,
right.
He gets to carry it. I think he's the one that gets to take it home.
Yeah.
Making room for it on the mantle as we speak, holding it high where it belongs for all to see and enjoy. I think I saw Mike DePasquale there in the picture. We've got crews all up and down, parts of Flagler, Biscayne, and 2nd Avenue there, so you can expect us to be going and making the rounds and checking in with them as the afternoon proceeds. I believe that was the president of
David
the Marlins.
Sampson.
Correct.
Who was, if you remember, I forget which game it was, and Steve had him on live. I think it was when we got into the World Series.
I believe
and
that
he
was when we won the National League.
He had about as much excitement as a 10-year-old at a Little League game, and he was great. He was great that night.